looking for a reason, searching for a sign, reaching out with both hands. I gotta feel the kick inside. Oh, fire! Oh, fire! Oh, fire! Oh, fire, fire, fire! Hey! Ain't nobody living in a perfect world. Everybody's out there crying to be heard. But I got a new fire burning my heart, lighting up the darkness and moving like a meteorite. Oh, fire! Oh, fire! Oh, fire! Oh, fire, fire, fire! Now I believe there comes a time when everything just falls in line. We live and learn from our mistakes. The deepest cuts are healed by faith. Now I believe there comes a time when everything just falls in line. We live and learn from our mistakes. The deepest cuts are healed by faith. Now I believe there comes a time when everything just falls in line. We live and learn from our mistakes. The deepest cuts are healed by faith. Now I believe there comes a time when everything just falls in line. We live and learn from our mistakes. The deepest cuts are healed by faith. Now I believe. Oh, fire! Oh, fire! Oh, fire! Oh, fire, fire, fire! Now I believe there comes a time when everything just falls in line. We live and learn from our mistakes. The deepest cuts are healed by faith.
Hi, welcome to ReneMarie Stroke of Luck. I'm ReneMarie, and this is going to be an awesome show, just like all our shows are. We really have evolved and really bring a lot of education to strokes and aphasia, and for faith, and really just for hope for those of us that have suffered strokes. Let me introduce to my far right. Hi, Judy.
Hi.
Judy Marlowe, co-host and the backbone to the foundation and to the Stroke of Luck show.
Thank you so much.
She does so much, and our entire board is always working. And you know, if you want to partner with us, please go to our foundation website, www.renemarielanguageoflove.org, to donate and become a partner. And really, our mission is really you know, it's threefold. It's to bring stroke aphasia awareness, which we do every week through this venue, to do our annual telethon, and really our third mission statement, which is really prominent, is to help those that their insurance has run out. So that really is a big thing because of the health care in the industry, in the world. It's really, in the United States, it's really trying. My grandmother, who's in the hospital, you know, they just told her that she couldn't have any more what's it called? Physical therapy everywhere because she doesn't need it. They think she doesn't need it. She's 96. She needs physical therapy. She needs to move.
Yes,
She needs to move to keep her blood going, even though her days are limited. You need to have that quality of life.
Should never be turned off. That's
you should
terrible.
never be turned off. Never be turned off. But we have a wonderful guest today who I actually met. Judy, were you there?
No, I wasn't able to make it.
I forgot.
Yes.
But
Nancy and
Nancy and
Virginia.
Ginny had invited us to a car show a while ago, with thousands of people there. It was an exceptional car show. Beautiful day, beautiful cars. I mean, but the gift was that we met Joel Meirowitz, right? How do say it? Meirowitz. I said it well. Meirowitz. But before we get to that, I want to talk about life's next chapter. Marlon and I have been communicating, and although I'm not able to be a part of the Stroke of Luck college awareness this year because of the life traumas I'm having in my life with my grandmother and I'm not able to dedicate the time to them, but we are going to partner with them this year in helping them with promos and helping them with advertising and really bringing some light to their foundation, which I just sent to Judy. She probably didn't see it, but they want to be on the show next week, the 20th. The 20th. So we're going to see if we could squeeze them in so that they can come.
I've got a kind of a...
That's okay. We'll make it work.
All right.
But they, Life's Next Chapter, it's called Life's Next Chapter because they were all graduating, and they looked at each other after with this passion, and they said, what are we going to do with Life's Next Chapter? And that was the beginning of this healthcare awareness that they brought, and it really is. Jim, could you put the photo up on the screen? And so our connection to them and our vision with them, and we did it last year, and we continue to partner with them, is to bring awareness about strokes and aphasia to the youth. We want to save lives, and 80% of strokes can be prevented if you have a healthy lifestyle. That other 20% you can help, but if you get to the hospital within a 4.5-hour window, and Dr. Beculus actually expanded that a little bit, although you should never wait, but that window of time has expanded a little bit. But
when you're having the symptoms, you must go to the hospital immediately because you're losing brain cell power, and you can't get that back if you wait too long.
No. And so you got to know the signs, which we're going to talk about with Joel later on fast. But, so we feel if you teach the young how to, about strokes and aphasia, they're so like sponges, young people, and they learn and they educate and they're aware. And I think our future is really in great hands with our youth. They're such wonderful and passionate and really have a key to the future. They have the key to the future. So Jim has his daughter. What's your daughter's name, Jim? Josephine. You gotta teach these kids, the youth. You gotta teach them from a young age what the signs are so that they could save their lives and have a better quality of life, and really to save other people's lives.
Right. And if they see something, they can do it right away. They could say something about it and get help immediately.
Yeah, there was, I remember seeing on the news one time, there was a young child who saw his mom laying on the floor, and he called 911, and he actually saved his mom's life. I think it was on Good Morning America.
Yes, it was.
So, you teach your children just those simple things, to call 911.
That's so simple. If your parents are unresponsive, pick up the phone and hit these 3 numbers.
Right.
Even if they don't speak.
Right. Because
cops are coming.
Right, they're coming. So it really is important. So we want to wish. Jim put up the photo for the October 24th, I believe it is, with the health fair at the Jersey City college, and they're probably we're gonna get them onto the show, just even if they're co-hosts, and because they're great people, they're great energy, and they're such great people. They're just got this joy for life and this vibrance. That's the word, vibrance, for educating and really bringing awareness. And Marlon and I go back a little bit because our connection is that when Marlon was working at the hospital, my grandfather used to work at Gagaya. And Gagaya has been a guardian angel for me for a long time, since he passed. And I decided to call Barnet one day just to perform there, because it's now a rehabilitation center, and that's how Marlon and I connected. So Marlon and I have a lot of work to do in our lives. But let's start the show. And by the way, I want to give my thoughts and prayers to those that were in 2 major accidents on I-95 when I was traveling in. That's why we started this show a little bit late, because I was traveling in and I was not moving. And when I passed, it was tractor trailers with regular cars.
Oh.
So, and they didn't look too good. So I want to give my thoughts and prayers out to everyone. So Jim, can we open up the window and let's invite Joel Meirowitz. Am I saying it good again?
Yeah, you did. Excellent job. Excellent job.
Joel, it was a blessing to have connected with you. Out of all the people, there was thousands of people there, right?
Yes, there were a lot of people, man.
There was thousands of people. So for us to, and I think you had passed and then you came back. I believe that's what had happened. And
yeah, I think I was walking. I passed it because I wasn't sure what it was, and then I came back and I realized what it was.
Yeah. So thank you, because this show is really important to have stroke survivors like yourself and myself, and a lot of our board members, to bring awareness, to really tell people, our stories, so that we could bring light and hope to those that have suffered strokes and maybe prevent a future stroke. So tell us a little bit about your history before your stroke. Tell us a little bit about what you've done, because I believe you were an attorney. You are an attorney.
Yeah. I started out as a teacher, and I taught for 3 years, and then I went to law school at night, and I taught for another 4 years. Then I became an attorney, and I've been practicing for about 43 years, roughly.
Wow. Where did you teach?
I taught at Freeport for 3 years,
Oh.
and then up in Arlington, because that's where I went to school, at Suffolk University. But in any event, in between, I had a son, a little son. He grew a little bit.
How old is he now?
He's 43, and
Wow.
he's
Yes.
He's an attorney, and he does asbestos, and he does it very, very, very well.
Yes.
And is doing very, very well. He's on, he's got an advertising that he does, on.
I think I've heard it. I think I've heard his.
It's a very good,
It's
he and
2
his
names?
Yes. Any event, let's go to my situation with the stroke.
So well, let's lead in. So how many years were you working before you had your stroke?
I started working in 1976, and I had the stroke in 1995.
So 76, 86, 96. How many years? 19?
Yeah.
19 years. And so I know, so tell us, on that day, like, where were you? How did it happen?
Well, you have to start from the beginning, I think. Okay. I had a tiny, tiny stroke. I call it tiny. In any event, I was at a client's, and I'm going to use the wrong finger, but it was this finger that suddenly couldn't, hold it the way I would usually hold a pen. But I could still hold it, but I couldn't.
Couldn't get the grip.
Right. I'm talking now about my right hand. I am, or was, a right person.
Right, right.
And I had no idea in my wildest dreams what a stroke was. I mean, nothing. And because I had carpal tunnel about 3 or 4 months, before, I thought that maybe this has something to do with, Harper.
Right.
All right. So I did nothing. Okay.
So how do you know it was a stroke?
I didn't.
You didn't. Okay.
I thought it was something relative to my
carpal tunnel.
Yeah.
Right.
So nothing happened. I was practicing. I had an attorney working for me. My mind was only on work. Then, in May of 1995, May 15th, I was in the water surfing because I've been surfing since I was since 1964. And
where were you surfing?
Robert Moses. That's where I worked as a lifeguard.
Oh.
A lifeguard in Robert Moses and Jones Beach, and I did that for 25 years. In any event, I got out of the water and something was not right, but I didn't know what it was. So I came home. Make a long story short, my wife, wasn't my wife then, but anyway, she finally got me to go to Glen Cove Hospital. And I stayed in the hospital for a week. There was nothing the matter with me. I had 2 arms, 2 legs. I could speak perfectly, everything.
No facial?
A little bit, maybe. Okay, maybe my left.
And your speech was okay?
My speech was perfect.
And they didn't do a CAT scan while you were there?
I don't know. They did everything. I don't even know what they did. I'm very bad when it comes to
me too.
Anything related to strokes. I just block it out. In any event.
So they're telling you you felt absolutely perfect, and they were telling you there was nothing wrong?
Oh no, they said I had a stroke.
Oh, okay.
But
So yes,
I didn't know.
But you didn't understand, and they didn't explain it to you.
Even if they did, it wouldn't make any difference.
Right, because you couldn't comprehend.
Absolutely.
And that's that. I literally remember because people used to look at me and used to be talking to me, and I didn't get what they were saying. Couldn't even comprehend what they were saying. So I totally get it. So
I'll talk about that because I'm involved in an organization that it's mostly strokes, and 90% of the people are in your situation where they don't even know that there's a stroke. But that is a very small percentage of people that have strokes that can't walk. You know the situation.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying. So when I go to this organization and they have doctors and different people come in, and I look at everybody and I say, they don't have stroke. It's not.
That visibly.
Yeah, maybe they have their arm is not 100%, whatever. Let me get back to what I was talking. In any event, the doctor who was talking to me was also the doctor that I bought their condo. I knew him very, very well.
Oh, wow.
And he said to me, I remember exactly what he said, we'll let you go. We should keep you for another week, but we'll let you go. But you must go home, rest, relax, and don't do anything for at least another week. And I went home. As you know, taking a shower is never a fun thing when you're in the hospital. So I took a long shower. I sat down. I was doing I don't remember what. And I look at my watch, and it says 5 o'clock. Oh, I have to go to a small claims court in Hempstead. And I will call it my wife said to me, "Are you out of your mind?" And I said, "I am going." And I'm sitting at the table, and I went like this. I said, "I'm going. Are you coming with me or not?" I swear to God.
Just like an
But you know what
attorney.
the truth is? that fight, that determination is what we need to keep moving on.
Yes.
Well, that may be true. That is absolutely true. But in that situation, I went, my wife drove, I sat in the front seat, and behind me was the person who works for me. And this was something that I never do. I was suing somebody that never paid me. I never ever sued them.
Right.
But this person was such a...
We understand.
And anyway, as we get into Hempstead and it's time to get out, I went like this, opened the door, fell on the ground. Then I had a real stroke. My whole right leg, everything was, and then my speech was completely.
But you know what? You were going to have that whether you were home.
I was going to say
whether
that
you
too.
were, no matter where you were. I believe that things happen for a reason, and maybe you needed to have those people surrounding you to be able to get help as soon as you got it.
Well, my wife drove, didn't stop for any red
Good.
lights or anything. Went
Good.
back to Glen Cove. And then I was in the hospital for almost a month.
Wow.
And the speech teacher that they had,
The speech pathologist
was terrible.
Oh.
Okay, in looking back, she was terrible. I was very fortunate that after I got out of the hospital and they said, well, you have to go to, what is it called? I can't think of the name of it now. It's at the old Manhasset Hospital. And it was part of Jewish, whatever it's called.
Long Island Jewish Medical?
Thank you, yes. And I met this lady. Her name is Silverman.
Wendy Silverman?
Yes.
Was it?
Yes. You know her. You heard
I don't know her, but I know from my notes that I had met with her.
And to make a long story short, she taught me how to speak.
Wow.
Now, going back for
And
a minute.
she wasn't a speech pathologist.
Oh, she was.
Okay,
She was.
I just
She
wanted to
was.
make
Yeah.
sure. Okay.
And understand, that's a terrible way to say it. I was, at that time now, a judge in Glen Cove. It's a part-time position, but I was a judge. So the other judge, whatever, he was not, and he was giving me, he was pushing me to go back on the bench. And that was for a number of reasons, and I'm not going to get into it. I started my session with Wendy at the end of August. In January, I was back on the bench. Was I 100%? Of course I wasn't. But I had good people to help me.
To support you, right.
And my brain was 100%.
Wow. Yes.
In fact, one of the things that I did with Wendy, which is absolutely not, you can't do as a judge, is I would take the file, the actual file,
with
take it out and bring it to her so that we would use things that I knew.
Right. That was smart.
Yeah.
And the truth is that I believe that when you suffer a stroke or you suffer any illness, it kind of brings an intuitive to you that you know what you need to recover and to successfully move on, you know?
That's if you are driving to do that. But I know that there are people, regardless of what they have, that it's like once they get it, that's it, they're done, they're staying home or whatever.
Well, that's why I told you that drive that you had, that you wanted to go, you wanted to keep moving, was so important, because that's why you're sitting here today, because you have that drive.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. And you know, afterwards, I worked very hard to get better, but I had in my mind, okay, that I was going to be able to surf. That's like my passion.
Yes.
I'm a swimmer, okay? It's obvious I worked on the beach as a lifeguard. But I wanted to be able to stand on my board. That never happened. But in the beginning, I had this idea that, yes, it's going to happen. It didn't happen. But I lay on the board.
All right, that's good.
And I only have one hand that works.
Yeah. That's why you can't stand, because your equilibrium is not balanced. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I couldn't get up that way.
Yeah.
In other words, for me to get up, I have to hold something to get up.
Right.
All right? Even at home.
Yes.
When I'm having dinner, to get out, I have to get under to push myself up. It's just one of those things.
Yeah. So, you.
It's your turn now. You can.
Well, no, I love when you talk. You're the guest. No, but so you suffered the stroke. You suffered 3 strokes. That means the mini one, the one that you were put into the hospital, and then this massive one, and that was the one that changed your physical abilities to do things. And I love the fact that sometimes you have to go down a new road. You have to take a new path. You can't keep trying to fit yourself into that old road, because that road is closed. It's blocked now. You have to go down. And I love the fact that you actually, okay, this is happening. Okay, I'm going to go down this new road. So what are you, because I know you're an advocate now.
After I was able to, walk and speak and do all these things.
Which is a gift, right? I mean, you never would have looked at it like a gift before your stroke. I would have never looked at it as a gift before my stroke, but the fact that I'm here able to speak and to think and to process and to walk, and I'm a little bit off balance on my right side as well. Although all those things happened to me, I think it's a gift that we are able to do it.
You overcame a lot of challenges. She had a massive stroke and aphasia. She had to learn how to read.
Oh, okay.
So tell us what you're an advocate in.
of an advocate.
Because I think it's private speaking engagements through transitions of Long Island to benefit stroke victims coping with recovery and trying to re-enter the workforce. Let's talk about how people bring them hope that they could. And the truth is, Joel, is the other side, the employers. They have to understand and analyze. We had one gentleman, I'm sorry to cut you off. We had one gentleman, Keith, remember Keith?
Right.
Keith had just purchased, he had a wonderful business, a wonderful, successful business with other partners.
And he had an insurance company come in and examine everybody for their health, to be eligible for their health benefits. And he was the one that they said was the healthiest of all the people he worked with.
And then, they're all working, and then he suffered a stroke, and they actually kind of forced him or asked him, I'm not sure the exact, but they bought him out because to me, that's sad. It's sad because there's a way that you can use each individual in the gifts that they have.
Very important. And I could say most of the people, I mean, I haven't measured them, I don't have, but I would say most of the people, one, don't understand the stroke. Two, when somebody works for them, we're talking work now.
Yes.
They figure they can't do it. They have a stroke. They're get rid of them. Okay, nicely, but get rid of them.
It's very unfortunate because they can do a lot of things.
Yes.
And they maybe
and they've got the intelligence to do it.
And you know what? And they could, you could be an example for doing the humane thing in life, Yes, they may not be able to be the judge anymore, you know what I'm saying? But what can we use them within our company to keep them as part of the team? I believe that when you do that, more goodness comes into you.
And it also helps them in recovery.
Oh my God, yes.
Because they have a passion for what they did before.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very true. Getting back to that for a second, what I do is when I find out that somebody has a stroke, and I know many people, some of them like you, okay, I'm not that. It's amazing that you're able to get back.
Right.
But a lot of people obviously don't get back. And I'll go and talk to them and try to move them up.
Give them encouragement.
Yeah. Even bring them hope.
Yeah.
Bring them hope.
So I do that. It's nothing in an organization. I just do that. I also am involved with it's called Life of something. Life of Stroke, I think.
Life after stroke?
Maybe, I don't know. It's in Nassau County in Suffolk.
Okay.
It's one organization. Right. So I sometimes I go, I have time to take a look at their situation. I think I mentioned it before we went on the air. They get doctors in there and different people.
To give talks.
Right, and that's what I said before also, that when I go there, I feel like nobody has a stroke. They're all, I'm saying, you're perfect. Mm-hmm. Even though that's not the case, and some people are very into, they're going to have another stroke. There's something that's going to happen to them again.
Well, it's a fear, and I remember that fear. I remember that unknown fear, because like with any illness, it's a shock. It's it's a trauma. It's a trauma that, oh my God, like like your life flashes before your eyes. Like, what am I doing? Why did this happen? I mean, I was living a wonderful life, you know, like, and it's just this fear. And it took me a long time to balance myself and to learn the tools, bring up Dom again, to learn the tools to, you know, when I get that little bit of frightenedness in my brain, okay, what, rather than go down that path, to use these tools to get out of it, to use those tools, like to, you know, focus on a mantra or focus on the goodness or focus on, because you're not going to be able to prevent some of the health issues that you have. They're going to come. But you have to, it's how you deal with them when they do come into your life, and how you face them,
That's very true. And that's something that you have because you're driving to be as good as you can be under the circumstances. And that's the way I feel. I don't think that much about the stroke at all. I've had other things, including my heart and other things that, you know, that I have to deal with also. But I don't think about the stroke as being something that I can't go around, which is very interesting. While after I was a judge for 12 years, I worked for the Office of Physically Challenged in Nassau County, and that was because Tom Swazi, you know, the mayor,
Right.
not the mayor, the
County executive.
Thank you. Right. So I was able to get a job with the organization. It wasn't an organization. It was what I was doing. And there was a fellow who worked for the organization, worked in Nassau County, that the only finger that he has was this finger. He was on a wheelchair. He was otherwise totally paralysis from the time he was born. He was a cerebral palsy person, and he had a master's in Hofstra for whatever it was, and he talked to me and made me understand that I'm not the same as I was, and I am somebody different, but that doesn't mean that you can still do something.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So he kind of like helped me in a way. Just like Wendy helped me with speech, he helped me in my mind to understand that this is the way it is, make the best of it.
Right, right. And we've all had angels in our lives that help us to get to this point.
I believe in that. I do.
Yeah, yeah. But we have another show coming up after this, but I just want to give you a moment to share, you know, some. Yeah. Okay. So, but it'll take us 5 or 10 minutes to break to end anyway. So, you know, share with our audience, because I know you said something about missing the signs. Did you say something about missing the signs? You said something about, you know, what is it? Visiting? I don't remember where it was. But tell our audience, like, how it felt, like what you should have done as soon as your thumb or something was happening. What should you have done?
I should have immediately gone to the hospital, which I didn't.
Right. Because we're so encompassed and so consumed, that's the word, with our
other things.
But our health and ourselves.
Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. And I had a burst, okay, so that I couldn't, get an injection, and that would have killed
You
me.
had blood
Burst.
bleed?
Oh, you had a bleed?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I didn't know you had a bleed. You cannot have a clot busting
Wow.
medicine if you've had a bleed.
Well,
That's
so-
why you got to get to the hospital
So
right away.
I wonder, when they took that CAT scan when you were in the hospital, they didn't see the bleed? They didn't see the little...
They did, I'm assuming, but it was only, so
They
small.
can't do it even if
And
it's a small amount.
They can't do anything except, make sure that that you go in and keep an eye on it.
That brings a lot of questions to my mind. And they may have shared it with you because, as stroke patients, once again, we're not aware of everything that was said to us, and it's a new path. People don't think strokes are going to happen to them, and it
can happen to anyone.
Yes, and it's a leading cause of disability in the country. The leading cause of disability. Jim, could you put up that what is it? The yellow screen.
Even unborn babies
It says
could have
about
a stroke.
strokes. It's the
Did you
fast. Yeah, did you know? Did you know? And did you know on there it says about, it's not discriminatory. It's not discriminatory.
No.
It doesn't matter what color, it doesn't matter what faith, it doesn't matter what size, it doesn't matter what you are. You could take it down, Jim. So, so to me it's like, we have to get the word out about strokes. But what I was thinking when you said that is, did they, and this is nothing against the hospital, these are just thoughts that come to my mind, just like, did they tell you it was a hemorrhage? And did they tell you that's why you couldn't go out? Because that's why you had to keep still in your house?
The answer is, I don't know.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying.
Because
Maybe they told it to your wife.
The point of bringing this is not to point fingers at anybody. It is to just bring awareness to the questions that everyone, whether you suffered a stroke now or maybe you will in the future, whatever, when you do, that's just an awareness to say, what kind of stroke did I have? Why can't I do this? Why do I have to go home and lay in bed?
If they had explained to him that he had a small bleed,
Right.
They explained, you have a small bleed, it could get bigger, so you must rest.
Right, because you'll have a massive, and once again, this is not about pointing any fingers. This is just about bringing awareness to our audience about
And that's
the
why
questions.
normally you would have stayed in the hospital, because he knew you and he liked you. He let you go home, but please listen to me and stay home. But he didn't. Maybe he didn't
The
say.
answer, all of those things, I'm sure that he told me.
Right,
I
right.
have been
You
with this
just-
doctor forever. I'm talking like 35 years.
But I could also understand the passion you felt that you wanted to get to court, and I feel okay. And
Yeah.
That is
what's gonna-
exactly correct.
Yeah, right.
And I didn't really have a stroke. I mean, as I said, I did not know what a stroke was, and nobody could have told me about anything.
Right.
Probably that I had. I mean,
And
it
by
was
the
like-
way, before my dad had a stroke, I knew nothing about a stroke.
Right.
Okay.
Right. And the truth is that, I knew nothing about them as well, and I've been learning. I mean, mine happened 30 years ago. It was a massive stroke after my first daughter was born. So, it was challenging, but I was, I think the unaware, the silence, or what, I don't know what it's trying to say, like just the fact that I just kept moving and just kept wanting to I had a passion to live. I just wanted to live. So I just kept going and going. And I, every day I evolve, it's been over 30 years. So
I'll just say one thing. When I was in the hospital, there was a woman who had a stroke while she was
giving birth. Yes.
Yes, that could
that was
happen.
common. That's common because the having a baby just changes your whole dynamic. And then when I had my second child, they were so afraid. And I went to my gynecologist and asked him, "Can I get pregnant?" And he said yes. There was nothing wrong with my physical body, but what they were afraid of was the intense pushing that you have to do when you have a baby.
Right.
That they were afraid that I was going to have another stroke.
Yes.
So what they really they try to keep they try to coach me through keeping calm, but not to use my head in the intense pressure, the pushing, to use my lower body.
And they showed you how to do that.
And my daughter Samantha flew out in 6 minutes. She just flew out. She flew out before the doctor even came. So God took care of me.
I don't want to put any pressure on your mom.
Yeah, I'm telling you. It was incredible. It was incredible.
But even within the 6 months after having a baby, a woman is at risk.
Well, it was.
Of having a stroke.
I had my stroke 8 months after I had.
Oh, was 8?
Yeah, 6 or 8 months after having Brittany. Jim, put up the fast photo. We just want to give everybody a little bit of information. Once again, this is a really important photo, a really important, just something to take a photo of, something to put on your phone. It's fast. Fast is the face. If it droops on one side, someone could be suffering a stroke. The arms, when you put your arms out, if one kind of goes down, if it can't stay level, that's another sign of a stroke. Speech, of course, if you lisp or someone's lisping, don't think they're drunk automatically. They may not be drunk. They may be suffering a stroke. A smile, if your smile is not even, ask someone to smile. And time. Time is of the essence when someone is suffering a stroke. I'd rather you call 911 and make a mistake rather than having someone have the reoccurring issue, because time is of the essence when you're suffering a stroke.
And I just want to say, very briefly, how to prevent a stroke.
Hang on one second. Our pinpoint, though.
Okay.
Our pinpoint addition to that fast, and you'll agree with me, Joe, is when someone is calling 911 to let them know it could be a stroke, because that puts the hospital and the ambulance in stroke mode.
Yes.
And they'll treat it with the most urgent emergency, even though they treat everything with emergencies.
This is critical.
Right, but they know, like a heart attack, time is of the essence. So let us know.
You can prevent a stroke by lowering your blood pressure, by losing weight, by exercising more. And if you drink, do it in moderation. And treat AFib if you've got it.
Yes.
Those are very important factors.
They are. Joe, we're going to have to close, but I want to give you this opportunity to share your last thoughts. Give a closing. What does a judge do? A closing
remark.
Closing what?
Closing argument.
Closing argument.
That's the other side. That's the attorney. He's the one that does it. This has been a continuous struggle for me, and I think it's important for anybody, and especially for a stroke victim, to know that each time you could get a little better. Are you going to be whole? No, but you're going to be better.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for connecting with me at the car show, and for your time, because time is valuable, especially when you suffered something and you know how valuable your time is, that you chose us to spend part of your Sunday morning with.
What's really nice is that you're giving back to the community.
Yes.
And bringing awareness to other people and giving them hope and showing them that you can do it.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Joel.
It's okay.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judy. And we always blow our kisses. Ready, Jim? With Joel, with your right. left hand. That's what I do mine with. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Bye, everybody. Have a wonderful day. See you next week.
God bless you all.
God bless.
Okay. This is
Just wait 1 second. Make sure we're off the screen.
Mi amor, yo no entiendo por qué tú más que nadie sabes qué pasó en mi vida. Yo no sé qué tú piensas, yo no sé lo que haré, yo no sé lo que estoy perdiendo, yo no sé lo que va a pasar. No me puedes escuchar llorar solo sin ti, no me puedes oír llorar. El día que caminaste por la puerta, todas las memorias fueron. Mi corazón está vacío, como si tuviera ayer. No me puedes escuchar llorar solo sin ti. Mi corazón está sufriendo. No me puedes escuchar llorar solo sin ti. No me puedes oír llorar. Usted está en mi sueño por la noche. Por favor, no peleemos. Y es tan difícil para mí y para ti. Yo, ¿qué puedo hacer? No me puedes escuchar llorar solo sin ti. Mi corazón está sufriendo. No me puedes escuchar llorar solo sin ti. No me puedes oír llorar. No me puedes escuchar llorar solo sin ti. Mi corazón está sufriendo. No me puedes escuchar llorar solo sin ti. No me puedes oír, no me puedes escuchar. No me puedes escuchar llorar, llorar. No me puedes escuchar llorar solo sin ti. Mi corazón está sufriendo. No me puedes escuchar llorar solo sin ti. No me puedes oír
conversation, they're all dead. The lines cut off inside my head. I left here like a broken man with no idea of where I stand. Oh, my mind clear. Oh. I shed all of my tears. Oh, now baby, I was just waiting here while you moved on. Security, this about freedom you kept from me. The sound of all your loaded guns, this heartbreak war has just begun. The sound of all your loaded guns, this broken man has already won. Oh, my mind clears. Lord, I shed all my tears.